Hello, everyone. It is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist, and welcome to this series on the best advice for each life path number. And remember that this is gleaned from some years of working with clients and with numerology. These are indeed not the only pieces of advice, and also as pieces of advice go, we're going with three. I've chosen three pieces of advice, and just like any advice that you might get in your lifetime, you can either take it or you can leave it. If it resonates with you, pick it up and go with it. If not, you can just lie it right down there on the table and let somebody else pick it up. Just take what resonates with you. Also, if you are someone who, for instance, follows astrology and you watch astrology videos where you might watch for your sun, moon, and rising. The same thing can apply here with numerology. If you have an 11, if you have that master number 11 anywhere in your chart in a prominent position in numerology, that would be one of your core numbers, like the life path, the expression or destiny, the soul urge, also called that heart's desire, the birthday, and so on. So if you happen to know your full chart, this could inform you on that level as well. So take it as you can, take it as it resonates with you, and we are going to make these as short and sweet as we possibly can. So let's dig in. So the best advice for the 11 life path. I'm not one to self-promote usually, and yet if you do have a master number 11 as a life path or anywhere in your chart, I would really strongly advise reading my book, Master Numbers 11, 22, and 33. You can get it on Amazon. Just look up Felicia Bender, Master Numbers. It'll show up there. You can go to my website, feliciabender.com, and go to it from a link there. But anyway, it's an entire book that really, really thin slices the beautiful richness and the complexities that come with these master numbers. Now, the master numbers, for those of you who might not know, who maybe you're new to numerology, master numbers are the repeating numbers, the repeating digits. So the double one, so the 11, the 22, the 33, and so on. So they have a special kind of significance in numerology that really helps to understand certain things about yourself and about your soul's contract and about your life. So what I want to also say up front is I work with a lot of people with master numbers and understand that initially it sounds kind of puffy, sounds pretty like, yeah, I got the master number. I got it, I'm super special. And yes, that's true. And yet, I will say, what are you doing with it? Because these numbers hold a lot of challenges. They're very intense. And so I always say, with a hug, be careful what you wish for. Okay. So if you have an 11, let's talk about it. The best advice for you, I would say overall, first piece of advice is to seek out resources to learn how to acknowledge. You first have to understand this. And then the next step is to discipline your heightened levels of sensitivity. You are a channel, you are a satellite dish, you are a lightning rod for energy, for information, for things out in the cosmos and out in the ethers. That all sounds well and good. It's really great if you understand that's what's happening and if you can control it rather than it controlling you. That is the biggest stumbling block with the development of the 11 life path, is that you're a super sensitive kid. A lot of things can happen in that realm. And if you are a parent or a grandparent and you have a child or a grandchild who has an 11 life path or in their chart, these are really good pieces of advice for you as well to understand about them and to be able to help and support them. And what do I mean by seeking out resources? It's first of all understanding that you actually do have this form of sensitivity that not everyone has. Yes, it makes you special in some ways, but it also makes you susceptible. So it's one of those things that 11s are often held hostage by their emotional acuity because you don't know, you let it just control you. So your pathway in life is all about, okay, that's well and good, but now what do I make of it? How do I control it? When do I put the closed for business sign up, and when do I put the now I'm open sign up, right? And that's going to take some intention around understanding that. And then you get to lifelong. This is not something you just click off the list on a weekend, right? This is something that you'll be working with lifelong. But I have worked with so many 11s who are in advanced stages of life who wish they would have known this so much earlier, because they could have sought out the resources that could have supported them and educated them and helped them along the way with their sensitivity. So the second piece of advice is to that really kind of keys into the first piece of advice, and yet this is a little bit different. This is the advice here is to not only learn that you have these sensitivities, but learn how to ground your energy, to center yourself. Because I'm going to be honest here. I love you 11s, and yet you can be really high strung, really edgy, really, you can kind of be a handful. So it comes to be a matter of really formulating something to ground you, whether that's the rituals in the morning, whether it of course, breath work, of course, any kind of exercise program, walking in nature, meditation is a must. Now, it just doesn't mean you have to om and sit on the pillow. Meditation can come in all kinds of forms. It can come in, walking in the woods, taking a swim. That could be a meditative time as well. Anyway, there's that. Don't just put up the stop sign going, oh my God, I've tried to meditate and I just can't. I have a lot of master numbers who will say that. I'm like, okay, you can start somewhere else and move into and I don't know, expand your practice in whatever way. So it doesn't just mean sitting on a pillow and saying om. It does mean quieting your mind, centering yourself, grounding your energy, because you are known as the dreamer rather than the doer. And that means that if you don't have some grounding energies around you, I find that 11s can get really frustrated because they have all these ideas, all these creations, all these visions, and yet they can't grab them and put them and root them into practical reality. So it's up to you to figure out how to do that, whether it's uh, well, again, you'd have to look at your full chart, because if you have other grounding energies in your chart, if you have other grounding astrology going on, astrological signs, like you could be an 11 and you could be a Capricorn. Well, that point, counterpoint, or balances out in some funny way. So this is just taking the energy, like picking it up and looking at it by itself, and yet you always have to consider it in terms of the full picture. All right, last but not least, you are an innovator, you are a dreamer. There are pros and cons to all of that, and yet that is your gift. That's one of your many gifts to the world. So really, the advice here is to work through insecurity. A lot of 11s have this really push-pull alligator wrestle between insecurity and wanting to kind of be invisible and disappear, and ego, wanting to be out front, wanting to be large and in charge, wanting to be the one on the platform waving their hand. so so it's a matter of really understanding both and working through both and harmonizing both and deciding how to do that. Once again, this is a lifelong endeavor. It's not for wimps, and it's not necessarily easy, but it's your true exalted gift to really balance these and have them interplay. You are a healer on all levels, whether it's through your artistic creativity, whether it's through healing arts itself, whether it's through any endeavor in that way. You have a healing touch and a healing energy. So it's learning how to control that rather than being a victim of it.